So today I found myself having a huge amount of hatred for YouTube because I realize how many one-sided views there are. You know, if you type in God is female, you'll get absolutely nothing. You'll get no searches. And I know that I've made plenty of videos about God being female and me being female. So why is it that my videos are not showing up in the search? I don't know, but I feel like it's incredibly biased. I know that there must be loads of people who have gone to a Diddy party and have not experienced Cassie being beaten up, or not experienced, freak offs. You know, technically a freak off could actually just be a term for a threesome, but it's called something a bit more fun, a bit more exciting, and all these one-sided views are actually just really, really annoying me, because I feel like YouTube is trying to control the minds of people by controlling the search engines. You know, I've subscribed to a bunch of channels, and I'm noticing that in my homepage, the only videos that have been popping up today were things that I've subscribed to, which is not kind of usual. I'm sure usually like a lot of songs and music pops up, but none of that's popping up. Everything was about Diddy. Everything was negative. Not one thing was positive. I think I managed to find perhaps a couple of things saying that Kim Porter didn't have a book. Hence, anyone that alleges that Kim Porter was writing a book and Diddy killed her for that reason, you know, that's bullshit. But I only saw like one or two videos on that. The number of people that would want to claim the opposite, I don't know, but YouTube is incredibly one-sided, and it's making me feel like whoever's controlling the search engine are controlling the minds of people, and it's making me not want to watch YouTube any longer. And then I was just like, well, what am I going to do? I have tidied up. I mean, not tidied up, but I have tidied up a bit. But I put up Halloween decorations, and it's not amazing. It's a bit scatty, but I've done that in attempts to just do something else other than be on YouTube. And then I joined Netflix. I don't know, that The Chosen is something that I was tempted to watch, but yeah, I haven't watched it till before because it's about Jesus. I'm not Jesus. Anything Jesus says is not things that I'm going to agree with, because I don't actually agree with anything that he says. And anyway, I'm on to the third episode. This is my desperate attempt to not watch YouTube. I find that it's actually, even though I don't really like watching it, to be honest, I find that there's one good thing about watching The Chosen, which is that it reminds me of people who had nothing. You know, I complain about my life. I complain about how I feel like I'm the only species. I feel like I'm living in hell, planet full of dumb, stupid morons. But at least I have a fairly nice house to live in, and I'm not living in any of the houses that they're going through. You know, I don't know how tax worked back then, but I have a feeling like you'd be forced to pay tax even if you weren't able to make money, which I don't know if it's the truth or not. You know, right now you only pay tax if you make money, and if you say I don't make money, they'll, you know, as long as long as you don't have huge amounts in your bank account, then you know, it's believable and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just going to go through this Chosen video because there's a speech that Jesus makes about all his teachings, and since I've got nothing else to do right now and I do not want to watch YouTube, I'm just going to go through all the things that I don't agree with.
So what did you do?
I tried to walk away, but he wouldn't stop pushing me. So I pushed him so hard he fell down.
And that's why you were punished. Did you expect something different?
But even Torah says eye for eye. Why should I be punished too?
Yes, but that is for a judge.
I agree more with Torah, and I don't think even judges are good at deciding. I don't know what's going on with these indictments, if they're real or not. But I know that I feel like judges in the world have very little ability to work out what an eye for an eye is, and therefore they're finding people who have committed crimes where they caused people to suffer for a short, very, very short time, and then they would put them in prison for 10 years and completely destroy their life. And I think even if you go into prison for a couple of months, you know, that will damage you for the rest of your life, because you will have something to remember for the rest of your life. And I don't think the judges realise that putting people in prison for long sentences is actually always an eye for an eye. I'm not saying they're always wrong, but I feel like I don't agree with what Jesus said there, because he said that, you know, it's eye for an eye is for the judges. And I don't think eye for an eye is for judges, because I think the judges in this world are so stupid that they can't work out what is fair justice.
You are hardly in a court of law. And you, all of you, are to be special. You are to act differently than others.
You tell us to be gentle, but Rabbi Josiah said Messiah would lead us against the Romans.
He will also say that he asked these people to be different and to be special. He didn't clarify how, and I don't think he even really knows them very well. So how can you say that you should be different when you've only just met these kids? These kids have only just come, and he's telling them to be different, and he's not really explaining himself on how or why or in what way.
That he would be a great military leader.
It is important to respect your teachers and honor your parents. And Rabbi Josiah is a smart man.
Wait, I think I'll just go back on that. So he was just saying that that the Messiah is going to be a great military leader, e.g. someone who's going to be able to fight in battles and create some sort of war that is going to get rid of all the bad people. I hope that I can do this, but unfortunately I'm not being helped by anyone, so time will tell if I can do this. But yeah, what he goes on to say is your teachers are, you know, that you should listen to them and they're wise. I don't think that. I don't think some of the teachings are wise. I think things of the Torah are mostly wrong, and I don't agree that you should listen to many teachers when it comes, well, especially not 2,000 years ago. I think the teachings back then were far worse than now.
All of you are to be special. You are to act differently than others.
You tell us to be gentle, but Rabbi Josiah said Messiah would lead us against the Romans. That he would be a great military leader.
It is important to respect your teachers and honor your parents. And Rabbi Josiah is a smart man.
I would say only honor your parents if they deserve to be honored and if they support the right sort of things. And I don't think he's a smart man, whoever this rabbi is. I don't think many religious people are smart, because they're all worshipping a false god.
But many times, smart men lack wisdom.
Many times smart men lack wisdom. No, I don't agree with that statement. Smart men are usually people that are smart, hence do have wisdom. I don't agree that this rabbi was is very wise, but it's another statement that I don't agree. Smart men do have wisdom. That's why they're smart.
Is there anything in Scripture that says Messiah will be a great military leader? There are many things about Scripture that you cannot understand yet, and that is okay, that is fine. You have many years ahead of you. And God does not reveal all things at once. But children, what if many of the things that our people think about how we are to behave and how we are to treat one another are wrong? You want things to be fair. When someone wrongs you, you want to right it. And you know who else loves justice? But what does the Lord say in the law of Moses about justice and vengeance?
Vengeance is mine.
Yes, very good. Very good. Boys,
That's another teaching that I don't agree with. I want vengeance, and I want justice, and I want vengeance, but I'm not convinced at this point that I'm going to get it. I am God, but I cannot do anything without help, without an army that can help me. I'm powerless. And Jesus is basically saying the opposite to that. Jesus has just basically said that God doesn't need an army. God doesn't need people. God is the Almighty, hence can do everything on God's own, on her own, or on his own, which is not the truth. So that's another thing that I don't agree with.
Pay attention. She doesn't even go to Torah class, huh? The Lord loves justice. But maybe it is not ours to handle.
It is. I need a group of people to help me. I need people that are alive on earth to help me get it. I cannot get it by myself. So this teaching is wrong.
You remember when David had the chance to kill King Saul, who was evil to him? But he didn't. Saul was God's anointed. And it was not the right...
Let me just correct that. No, Saul was not my anointed. I can't remember the story, but I if that guy was a real person, which I'm not really convinced that he was, he's not my anointed. It's just a book that was not written by me. It's just a character in a book. And Jesus supporting the book just is him supporting lies and myths.
Right time for justice. And God says he will have compassion on his people when... What? Let's see if someone who studies this at school is learning.
When their strength is gone?
Yes, very good. So...
That's another teaching. I don't have compassion on people just because their strength is gone. I look to see what they've done, and if they've done terrible things in their past and they've lost their strength, then I would be like, yay, great. And if they've done nothing wrong and they have been beaten up and have lost their strength, then I would feel sad for them. But at the same time, I'm still powerless to help them without people helping me. So this is, again, more false teachings. I think this teaching is just about trying to just get people to just rely on this imaginary friend of theirs. But by doing that, it's actually making people weak, because it's basically saying, don't fight, don't seek power, don't seek anything, just seek God and everything will be fine. And that's not the truth. But because these people are all against me, them just expecting me to help them is a good thing to teach, because it just teaches them to be weak and to do nothing.
Maybe we let God provide the justice. Maybe we handle these things in a different way, not trying to be the strongest all the time.
Even Messiah?
You will have to see.
I'm mentally strong, physically not strong, but yeah, I don't know what. I feel like I'm giving up, to be honest. I feel like I don't know if anything's going to happen this October, and if nothing doesn't happen in October, then I'm assuming it's going to be next March, and I will always be worried that it might not even be next year. I don't know, but I know that strength is very, very important, and you shouldn't just rely on some God to give it to you, because that's not how it works. And you can't just say, because I have no strength, God is favouring me because of this. This is just some false hope that you give to people that have no strength.
But do not expect Messiah to arrive in Jerusalem on a tall horse carrying weapons. And he will be most pleased.
I think if I went to Jerusalem with weapons, I would probably be put into prison very quickly. But yeah, that's kind of true. But at the same time, Jerusalem is actually just me, and weapons aren't really going to help me start a war, because me against 8 billion people, well, I'm not going to win. So yeah.
With those of you who are the peacemakers.
Where were you yesterday?
I had to stay in town later on. There was a woman who needed my help.
Did you build something for her?
You know, You remember when I said that I have a job that is bigger than my trade? There is a woman who has had much pain in her life, and she was in trouble, so I helped her.
Is she your friend?
She is now, and I have chosen her and others, and more soon, to join me in traveling.
Do they know you?
Not yet.
But what if they don't like you?
Many won't. This is my reason for being here.
I still don't understand. What is your reason for being here?
I'm telling you this because even though you are children, and the elders in your life have lived longer, many times adults need the faith of children. And if you hold on to this faith really tightly, someday soon, you will understand all of what I'm saying to you. But you ask an important question, Abigail. What is my reason for being here? And the answer is for all of you. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me.
I just want to correct him. I'm Christ. I'm the one with the Spirit, not him. This is just him lying. And I'm not giving good news to the poor because I don't really have good news to the poor. I don't like the people at the top. But I know that my higher self could have chosen anyone to be born into a rich, very rich family. And she chose the souls that she has chosen. And if you are poor, then I guess it actually means that you're not chosen, because if my higher self had a role for you in life, she would have put you in a position where you would get better life, you would get a better family. You know, a lot of people that are poor don't have many opportunities, but if they would have been born into somewhere that has more opportunity, a family that can give you more opportunities, then they would have had more opportunities. So you need to assume that if you are born into a poor family that can't help you, this has happened for a reason. I know that this has happened to me. I have been born into parents that are shit and don't help me and have given me nothing. So because of this, I've had to accept my fate, that I'm just going to be ignored and just avoid people for the rest of my life, and until people start talking to me. And I've accepted that this is my fate, and I think the poor should accept that this is their fate too, and not expect me to give good news to you, because I have no one's giving good news to me, so why should I give good news to anyone else?
Me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind.
This is referring to Christians who worship lies and deception. Jesus is the Antichrist. If you're worshipping Jesus, you're worshipping the Antichrist. But I can give sight to you and make you see what you're worshipping, and the lies and the deception of the liar that you're worshipping. So you can get sight through that, and you can get free of your state of captivity through Christianity. But I've got a feeling that a lot of people who are in this state are in this state because they don't want to be free of it, because they love the lies, they love the false hope and stuff. So I can't save those people.
To set at liberty those who are oppressed. To proclaim the year of the Lord's favor.
Anything is oppressed. I think it's animals. I've been seeing quite a lot of animal abuse videos. Videos that are about helping an animal, like, oh my gosh, this kitty has got a head stuck in this weird pipe that doesn't seem to make any sense why it's there, or why it's got a hole there, or why the kitty would have its head stuck in there. And then you kind of just think, is this just animal abuse? Is this just someone that's just forced her head into this thing so they can film the video of trying to rescue her whilst kind of hurting her in the process? I've seen quite a lot of these videos, and they seem to be increasing, and I I wouldn't know how to stop, but these are people oppressing animals, and basically just not caring and pretending that they are the hero, because they've done this to them, and they just didn't film the part where they didn't film their guilt. I think I would rather see the oppressed as these kind of animals, because I oppressed humans are usually oppressed because of their own beliefs and this stupidity mostly.
Isaiah,
Isaiah, I have loved spending this time with you. You are all so very special.
Okay, I'm going to stop it here.